Hi everybody, my name is Yoli and I am a cancer survivor. I have 11 years under my belt. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer 11 years ago, and but I wanted to spend some time today to talk a little bit about PTSD and cancer survivorship. Just a couple of days ago, on the 27th, was National Day of PTSD, and I saw a lot of posts from many agencies and from a lot of individuals on social media talking about PTSD and the effects of PTSD, to bring awareness and to share resources as well. And when a lot of folks, even myself, when I hear the word PTSD or the acronym PTSD, I think about veterans and the trauma that they experience. But one thing that I want to share about PTSD is that it's also something that cancer survivors experience as well. I can say that from experience because I also have gone through many bouts of PTS, and it has a lot to do with the trauma from hearing the words "you have cancer." And there are a lot of triggers that I've experienced over the years that I haven't really shared with people about it, and but I thought that it's important to share, so that not only does it bring awareness, but it also I also want to let cancer patients know that they're not alone when they go through these experiences. So a little bit about me and my cancer diagnosis. Like I said, I had stage 3 breast cancer. I found my own breast lump, and I went to see a physician, my primary care physician, and he did the referral for me to get a mammogram and an ultrasound. So I went to the appointment and had a lot of techs do the exams, and I was kind of freaking out because there were so many people that came and did the exam, and I wasn't really getting any answers. And honestly, I didn't expect to get any information that day. I wasn't mentally prepared to get any kind of diagnosis or indication that I may be dealing with cancer. So I went by myself. And when the techs did the mammogram, it was fine. I only had one person do it. And then I went to the next room over and they did an ultrasound, and it took 2 different people to do it, and then they brought in the head radiologist, and he did it really quickly and then turned the screen over and showed me. He's like, "Do you see this, this? I'm almost 100% certain you have cancer." And that was such a blow, an unexpected blow. And I started crying, and the first thing out of my mouth was, "Oh my gosh, am I gonna die like my mom?" My mom had passed away from stage 4 metastatic breast cancer that spread from her breast to her brain, and she passed away at the age of 42. So anytime I hear the word cancer, not anymore, but back then when I heard the word cancer, I associated it with death, and it was very scary for me. So I was pretty terrified, and they said basically to go get my films, and that they took the liberty of making an appointment to go see a breast surgeon, and she was waiting for me on that day. Which terrified me even more, because then I thought, oh my gosh, if they're sending me to go see a doctor today, then I'm dying. Like, I was freaking out. And so I did grab my films and I drove to the city of Orange, and honestly, I don't remember the drive. It's just one big blur. I just remember crying my head off. It was raining. I remember the windshield wipers, and I remember getting lost, and not lost because I didn't know the area, lost because I missed my turn and I needed to flip a U. So I flipped a U at this little school parking lot and then made my way to Orange, and basically that was the start of my cancer battle that day. So fast forward to last month. I was getting ready for my Cuts for Cancer Kinship event, and I was on my way to the printer to pick up some printed postcards, these little postcards that we were going to begin distributing out in Pasadena. And I was driving on the road. I remember passing the school, and I wasn't even thinking about cancer. I had music on, I was in a good mood, and just going about my day. And then I passed the school, and I remember just like kind of driving by and looking at it, and all of a sudden I felt this wave of emotion just hit me. It felt like a gut punch. It was just very sudden and unexpected. And then I teared up, I started crying, and kind of got shaky a little bit, and I felt really nauseous, and I didn't quite understand why until I was sitting there at the light, and then I remembered that that was the school where I flipped the U and made my way back to my surgeon. So it was I know that it was a symptom of post-traumatic stress. Like, I know that without a doubt. It's not anything that was diagnosed, and honestly I haven't sought mental health support, professional help for this, because it's not something that I deal with on a regular basis, but I do feel it. Another example is this. I worked at the YMCA during the time that I was diagnosed and went through treatment. I worked through treatment. Actually, it was a blessing in disguise having to work during treatment, because it helped distract me during the crazy days of cancer treatments. But when I would go, I would park my car in the parking lot at the Y, and there's this little Mexican drive-through restaurant there on the corner, and when I would open my door in the parking lot, I would get this smell of like grease or like lard that they probably used to make beans and other food. And back then I didn't smell bad at all. I don't remember it really bugging me at all. I didn't feel nauseous. But fast forward, I was at the YMCA last year picking up some furniture, some donated furniture, and as soon as I got out of my car in the parking lot, I smelled it, and I felt instantly nauseous. And again, I felt kind of shaky, and I didn't really quite understand why until I remembered that that was the smell that I remembered when I was going through treatment. And also walking into the YMCA building felt funny, like I just needed to catch my breath a little bit, because I hadn't been there in a very long time, and that was the place that I was at most days when I was fighting the biggest battle of my life. I remember throwing up in that bathroom and looking at myself, my reflection in the mirror. I'm getting emotional right now. And not recognizing myself, that it was a very hard, traumatic time in my life. And so walking in that facility, that building, when was that, last year, was very, very hard. And like I said, it was unexpected, and I felt like a gut punch, and then it was just a wave of emotions, and then it went away. So anyway, my point is that PTSD and cancer survivorship is a real thing. And oftentimes a lot of the symptoms that cancer patients experience that are PTSD related or related to anxiety, depression, it goes unaddressed or undiagnosed, because it mirrors the physical effects of treatment. Insomnia, fatigue, restlessness, all these different physical symptoms mirror cancer treatment symptoms, and so patients may not even know that they're dealing with the emotional effects of cancer. So as I was putting together the program plans and the business plans for Cancer Kinship, what I wanted to prioritize, and just I wanted to make sure that the programs that we're creating not only provide emotional support services through peer mentorship and education, goal setting, all those things, but also looking at whole person support, which also includes mental health support. Now, we're not mental health professionals, but the thing that is super exciting about Cancer Kinship and where we're located at the Melinda Hook Smith Center for Healthy Living is that it is a hub of agencies that provide support services in many, many ways, one of which is a mental health clinic. They have the mental health clinic that provides bilingual support services, so Spanish-speaking licensed clinical social workers and psychologists are there, and they can provide that professional support that a cancer patient may need. And the nice thing is that as we are working with cancer patients on site, they're at the center, and we uncover during the onboarding process or in conversations or during some self-assessments to identify distress, that we can very easily walk them over or take them downstairs and introduce them to amazing, compassionate staff members that can help them through the process and help them get on the road to recovery. So I'm really thrilled about that. And also, dealing or addressing mental health for youth, understanding that cancer patients, a lot of them have children, and that a cancer diagnosis of their parent could also trigger some PTSD and emotional challenges for the children. At the Melinda Hoke Smith Center, we also have Aspire, which is a mental health support services or support program for teens. And so we're able to not only help the patient, the parents, but we're also able to provide support for the family. So we're really excited about that. Stay tuned for more information on how we are going to begin the resource connection. That is just around the corner, so I'm thrilled to share that news. And also, I'll end with this. If you're a patient, I want to ensure that you are not alone, that we understand, I go through it on a daily basis, dealing with different survivorship issues, and many of which are physical, some are emotional, and we get it, I get it, and we are here for you. You're not alone. We are a phone call away, an email away, a social media post away. Please reach out. And if you're a community member and you're interested in learning more about Cancer Kinship and how we are going to be addressing not only the physical effects of cancer, but also the emotional, the whole person, please reach out. We want to hear from you as well. We are looking for volunteers. We're looking for a lot of help, donors, of course. But yes, we are here to support. I'm excited about what we are offering, and we're here to help. So thanks so much for watching and listening, and I'll talk to you later.